As Herbert Hoover once said, fishing is much more than fish. It is the great occasion when we may return to the fine simplicity of our forefathers. A water body that has seen its fair share of history is the Androscoggin River in western Maine. Descending more than 1,500 feet and 170 miles from the Rangeley Lakes to Merrimeeting Bay, this river was originally fast-flowing with large falls and long rapids. Fishermen from all walks of life flocked to the headwaters of the Androscoggin in search of fine salmon and large brook trout. From Mooselook-McGunnock to Richardson, from the Rapid River to the Magalloway, it was here where history was being made.
Cold river flows through the valley below, neath the frosted pines and mountains white with snow.
In the late 1800s, with the rise of industry, came the demise of the Androscoggin. One by one, mills were constructed, logs were run, and dams blocked what was once free-flowing. Though it wasn't until the 1960s that this river was proclaimed lifeless and ranked in the top 10 of the most polluted rivers in the nation. Dissolved oxygen levels were often at or near 0 parts per million, and the hydrogen sulfide gas peeled paint off of homes near the river.
Over the years, when there was no pollution standards whatsoever, everything went in the river. I mean, people's garbage, sewerage, you wanted to get rid of something, you threw it in the river.
Mills are a common, villain, so to speak, in the eyes of a lot of people, but, an awful lot of what happens in a river like this to degrade it is cumulative. You've got runoff from agriculture, you've got runoff from development. The biggest crop in our country is the American green lawn, and the stuff that people put into their lawns, and then eventually it gets into the water source. Well, not all of that is necessarily good for the water. I got nothing against lawns except I hate to mow them.
Kind of interesting, if you take a trip up and down the river and you look at how there's no homes built on the river, that's because nobody wanted to live next to it. It was just horrendous.
When I was a student in school, you couldn't see the bottom of the river. In 6 inches of water, you couldn't see the bottom. When you drove through Berlin, you better have a good set of lungs, because, mister, you had to hold your breath from one side of town to the other.
You look at the watershed from where it starts, the Rangeley Lakes region, to where it ends, all the way down to the Merrimeeting Bay, all up and down the river. Basically, man had his hand in the degradation of the river. From logging, farming, all the textile mills, all the paper mills. And everybody likes to point their finger at the paper mills and the Industrial Revolution. And granted, they probably had as heavy a hand in it as anyone did, but we all did. We all did, whether we owned homes or whether we farmed or whether we logged.
In an effort to reverse time, the 1966 Federal Clean Water Restoration Act, with the help of Senator Ed Muskie of Rumford, Maine, began regulating the discharge of pollutants and quality standards for surface waters. Not 10 years later, almost all of the Androscoggin River met Class C requirements, and currently is considered clean enough to support a number of fish and wildlife species.
It's been a long time coming, you said with a smile. You got to think about the future once in a while. Think about this as a business deal.
I love the Androscoggin because it's where I really started catching big fish. I mean, when I was 4 years old, catch a 4-pound salmon, I mean, that was, that's something for a 4-year-old. It really gets your heart to pumping. And I've just loved that river all my life.
You have to fight the fire, but it doesn't come easy. It's hard to find the water when the well runs dry. Wait and watch the sky while you're looking for a reason. Time
I think in particular Maine's had some legislators who never lost sight of the fact that their state really mattered to them.
That's the whole story right there. I mean, it's just amazing what's happened, you know, the last 30 years or so, how this river's done a 180.
I think once wind power comes along, you'll see some of the hydropower drop off because it's a tremendous expense to maintain a dam.
This river's an insect factory. Fishing with Charlie Lowe, who I'll freely admit is my mentor on this river. Be out with him and he'll notice stuff that I just step by, and I think I got a pretty good eye for it. But now, you know, I may be younger than he is, but his eyes are better. There's no question about it.
It's hard to find the water when the well runs dry. Wait and watch the sky while you're looking for a reason. Time will tell you why.
Today, the Androscoggin is known as the comeback kid with trophy trout water, from rainbows to browns and brook trout that not only thrive but also reproduce. What may have been kick-started by Muskie and the feds is now upheld by fishermen and non-anglers alike. Just in 2008 alone, the state of Maine stocked over 20,000 trout. Organizations such as Trout Unlimited and their Malliocca chapter organize float stocking efforts, where local high school students carrying out river cleanup achievements last year gathered 2,000 pounds of tires, outboard motors, and other treasures, all within 10 miles of river from Gilead to Bethel in one day.
No, it ain't easy. What you've been going through. Oh no, no, it's gonna be easy. What you wanna do.
This is something that my grandkids are going to be able to recreate in and you know, just kind of see the river on the rebound. And enjoy, and their kids as well. I mean, it's wonderful.
With thanks to many, we can again return to the fine simplicity of our forefathers.
Time will tell you why.